Hi, welcome to Cooking in My Kitchen. Today, we're going to do a series, by the way, of episodes that's going to help you with new recipes so you don't get bored. And also, I'm going to give you a lot of different cooking hacks uh, and and just ways to enjoy yourself in the kitchen. So, one of the things I want to do today is I want to show you how to make a really fun new recipe out of leftovers, adding just one simple, brand new, fresh ingredient and making it all in one pan. So come on over here. I'm going to tell you what the main ingredient is. The main ingredient is going to be our fresh zucchini. And what I did here was I took 4 medium zucchinis and I put it through the Ninja and I spiraled it so that it is spaghetti. Literally, this makes a great alternative to pasta. Now, that's the new ingredient. This is the only thing new that I purchased. What I'm doing is I'm making a really special dinner with leftovers. Here's the leftovers. We've got leftover tomato sauce, which is an Italian sauce that I made over the stove with the pasta and all the trimmings. This is the leftovers. The other leftover is from last night, pot roast. That's right, pot roast. So I've shredded the pot roast here. So we've got just these 3 ingredients. And of course, the Pecorino Romano cheese. Locatelli is the brand that I use. I'm going to do a shout out. This, by the way, is really hard to get at a reasonable price in the state and city that I just moved to. So if Locatelli is willing to send this to me at a normal price, I would be really, really happy. But this is a great shout out to Locatelli. I always use that. It is definitely the best cheese on the planet when it comes to Italian food. Now, let's get started. Remember, I said just one pan, right? So we're going to start with the one pan. And the one pan, you're going to put it on, I'm going to say like a medium heat. And I use my Colavita olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil, first cold pressed, imported from Italy. It has not been refined. It is extremely pure, and it's the only olive oil that I really will use. I'm going to just put a dab here. You're just going to do like 1, 2, 3. That's about it, about 3 tablespoons. Kind of swish that around. And I'm going to add some crushed red pepper because we're going to make this a little fun and zesty and going to have some heat. Okay. So I'm going to say that's about, I don't know, maybe 2 tablespoons. You could be generous if you like your food really with a lot of heat, or you could just eliminate this if you don't like the heat. And so we're going to let this warm a little bit. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this pot roast that I made yesterday. I made the pot roast in the crock pot yesterday, and I'm going to come back and make that for you all. And I'm going to kind of make the recipe my way. That was the first time I ever made it yesterday, but now I know exactly what I will do to tweak it and make it a lot better. So moving on, we've got this already kind of warming up here. This is on a medium heat right now, just to warm, you can kind of feel it, that it's getting warm already. And we're going to just place this zucchini is all going to go right into that pan. It's going to get kind of marry into the Colavita olive oil, and it is also going to start to marry into the crushed red pepper. Now, I personally always put, if I'm adding any heat, I put the heat in with the oil first, and then I add my vegetable or meat or whatever on top. So that's what I'm suggesting that you do as well. Just let it sit there a little bit. This does not take long. What you're going to find with the zucchini is that it does have water that will come out of it naturally. Zucchini is definitely going to, so it's going to shrink a little bit, but in a good way. And if you notice, I'm not doing any extra herbs. I'm not doing any garlic or anything like that. Why? Because I already have all of that in my amazing tomato sauce that I made last week. So it already has all the spices that it needs. It has the herbs that it needs. All I need is this one pan. I want to stress that with this one ingredient. Once that starts to go, it's going to start to become a little bit see-through, a little bit. It's going to lose a little bit of its spirally firmness, but it's still going to stay nice and spiral, right? So once that's going, in the same pan, we're going to start to add the meat and the sauce. If you want, you can kind of jumpstart this and just maybe warm it for about 30 seconds would do. And remember, the pot roast is already very, very, very moist and soft. And when you pull it apart, it just kind of pulls apart beautifully. So you don't want to or need to really overcook these. We're really just adding that to the sauce and to the zucchini. Okay, so now we have that going. That's looking nice. That's looking really nice. You can cover it if you'd like to speed up the way it cooks. I personally, I don't like to cover it, and the reason for that is then it gets all mushad. It gets very, very mushy, and we don't want mushy zucchini spaghetti. We want it to stay somewhat firm. 30 seconds was perfect for this. So we just want to keep turning. You got to be patient, just like life. Nothing happens in a moment. So you got to just kind of be patient and swish this around. You are going to be amazed at how this comes out. Now we're going to add the sauce into the microwave just to warm that a little bit. I'm going to do that for 30 seconds as well. Okay. This is coming out nice. It's still cooking nicely. You know, no matter which way you cut it, this still does take less time than some of the traditional pasta. You have to boil the water. You have to put the pasta in. You time it. You strain it, right? So this is really such an easy one step, and then everything's going to go in this one pan. So we're going to put this aside. This is looking great. Want you to see what this looks like, just so you can get a picture of, get an idea of what this looks like here. This is what it looks like when it's cooked. It's cooked. That's it. If you covered it, it's definitely going to get mushy. So you don't want to cover your zucchini. It gets watery, it gets mushy, and that's not good. So this is done. We're going to just put it aside right like that. And you've got a hole in the other half of your pan. Going to add your meat, which remember is the leftover pot roast that I shredded. Your sauce. Get that all in there. See how simple this is? And you know what, you guys? This is leftovers. But look at what a beautiful dish you're making with your leftovers. So you got all of the beautiful shredded meat in with your sauce. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start to fold in the zucchini with that. That's it. Just going to kind of marry that all together, just like that. And you know me, I usually like to play Andrea Bocelli, but I didn't want a distraction with the music right now. Got to kind of play around with that on my new set and make sure that it's not a distraction. So now it looks like this when you're all turn off the heat. And we're going to plate it. Plate it. Let me get my locatelli. Look at this. This is beautiful. And I'll tell you, this is going to be such an amazing alternative if you are trying to watch your carbohydrates, like as far as your simple carbs. If you're trying to stop, I'm having a lot of issues with this. Well, I'm going to have to chop it a little bit. You get the deal. Here we go. Whoopsie. I'm not doing good with this plating. Okay. Get all that delicious meat and sauce in there. Top. All right. And you have your Pecorino Romano. And now I think we should try it. While that's sitting now, before we try it, I'd like to just tell you what I have out here. It's Francis Coppola Claret. It is a very heavy-bodied Cabernet Sauvignon. I personally think that it pairs nicely with this because obviously the red sauce, yes, but it will bring out the meat will taste nice in here with a red wine, with that type of full-bodied red wine if you want wine. Otherwise, do what I do as well, and I drink water. So I'm going to try it. Get a little bit of meat, get a little bit of the spaghetti, some sauce. Now, this is why I serve spaghetti with spoons, and zucchini is no different. It spirals long. Here we go. Mm. Mm. Perfect.